So the Republican Party essentially made the decision to hand Joe Biden a nice gift in the form of attempting to impeach him. There was a lot of debate when Democrats were impeaching Donald Trump, which they did twice, if you'll recall, as to whether this was going to hurt Democratic chances in the 2020 election. I had this debate with people both on the, within the sort of center to all the way to the left. And I think that even came up with Tim Pool in the last debate that he had with me, where he called me Thanos. And I always contended that it wasn't in any way going to inhibit Democratic elections. In fact, it was probably going to help, because the Democratic base needed to see that Democrats were actually fighting Donald Trump and understood that he was a problem. I don't think it works the same way. Democrats and Republicans are simply not the same type of voters for the most part, because I don't think this ever is a strategy that affects people in the middle for the most part. I don't think there's huge swaths of those people. I definitely think the Republican base would have been upset had the Republicans not impeached or attempted to impeach Joe Biden, but they were going to vote anyways. As opposed to Democrats in, let's say, 2018 or 2020. And so what I do think this is going to do is it's going to cause Democrats to rally around Joe Biden, even though I think the majority of Democrats feel like he is too old to run again. It's just going to highlight, I think, some of the craziness on the Republican side, because they really have not much to offer in terms of these impeachment hearings. Here is Kevin McCarthy on Capitol Hill speaking to the press, talking about his impeachment inquiry. And let's be clear, he cannot start this road and get off the impeachment trail. They have to impeach Biden at this point. Here he is.
You know, in the months that we were gone and the weeks, House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings. Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions. Dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his son's business partners. We know that bank records show that nearly
just to make that clear, what the testimony regarding those phone calls was specifically that in the middle of meetings that Hunter Biden would have, he would call up the president, put him on speakerphone. The president wasn't even necessarily aware there were other people in the room, talk about the weather or just check in. Hey, Dad, just checking in. How you doing? As a way of showing everybody in the room that he had a relationship with his father. Because it was very conceivable that his father would have shut him off at that point. With no doubt, Hunter Biden, I don't want to say every single dollar he's made, has been made via nepotism. That, however, maybe nepotism's not the right word. He's traded on his name. He's traded on his relationship with his father. But that does not implicate Joe Biden in that manner. And believe me, there'd be a lot of people who could be impeached if that was the case. Continue.
$1 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks. Even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. Biden used his official office to coordinate with Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role in Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. Finally, despite these serious allegations, it appears that the president's family has been offered special treatment by Biden's own administration, treatment that not otherwise would have received if they were not related to the president. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives. That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step.
Let's go to, I mean, since he's talking about what warrants investigation. These investigations have been ongoing for 2.5 years. And let's check in on what actual charges they have, or not even charges, evidence they have on these allegations. Remember, anybody can make allegations. But here is Representative Scott Perry, Republican from Pennsylvania, with a reporter, we don't know the reporter's name, at the Freedom Caucus press conference outside of, just off of Capitol Hill, right after this announcement about the impeachment.
He would do that. I don't think it'd be appropriate. All right, last question. Yes, ma'am.
Can I just ask, what actual evidence do you have as opposed to allegations to show to the American public that would merit an actual impeachment inquiry of Joe Biden and prove that today isn't just about some of you?
Oh, I don't know.
Bully Speaker McCarthy for the sake of enacting political revenge.
This isn't about political revenge. We have the bank accounts. We can see, ma'am, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's
Pause
not
it for
normal.
a second. The homes that the Bidens own, he's talking about the relatives of the Bidens.
Right.
Who are not in Congress. Go ahead. Continue, go back.
Ma'am, you can see that the homes that the Bidens own can't be afforded on a congressional or Senate salary. You also understand that it's not normal for family members to receive millions of dollars from overseas interests. Those things aren't normal. It's not normal to have 20 shell companies. These things are not normal, and it alludes to not only just widespread corruption, but money laundering, if not influence peddling itself. And we also have the president, the vice president at the time, on record saying that the prosecutor was fired. Well, son of a bitch, the prosecutor was fired, right? Because the prosecutor was going after the company that his son was working on. That's what we have. If you can't see that, if you are that blind, look, I'll turn it over to the attorneys.
People can't see that. They think it's political revenge.
Because you don't report on it.
You're not,
We're here reporting on it today.
I'm not sure how you know what the American people think, but here's what they might wonder. Actually, if you're a federal prosecutor, you would.
So here's someone trying to report on it. And the Burisma thing, everyone, I think, at this point knows that the reason why this prosecutor Shokin in Ukraine was removed was because they were not going after Burisma enough. And I mean, there were other reasons. This was stated American policy. And I guess the argument is that the stated American policy, which existed prior to Hunter Biden being put on that board of directors, was because Hunter Biden was on the board of directors? Unclear. Here is, let's just do, this is the way that you should react to impeachment. Let's do number 4. Good for John Fetterman. Here is how he reacted to the news that the Republicans were going to impeach Joe Biden.
Ask you about this news that Speaker McCarthy has formally launched an impeachment or has said he's going to.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh no, oh no.
So we're gonna run back to the office, but
There you go. I think John Fetterman knows this is a big winner for Democrats. It should be interesting to see on what charges they're going to impeach Joe Biden.